Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I did one of these videos, so I thought I'd come to you and have a little chat about things that are happening here in Spain and in European football over the next few days. Coming up, of course, on Saturday, the final of the Copa del Rey, Barcelona against Sevilla, and it seems that Barcelona win this competition almost every year now. Obviously, they've won it every year under Luis Enrique, and they have the chance to win it again this season. And with La Liga already tied up, it looks like it's going to be a double, a domestic double for Barcelona, Liga and Copa. It was something that used to be considered to be, you know, a spectacular achievement, but it seems like these days winning a double, you know, means less. You know, particularly if Real Madrid go on to win the Champions League, that's going to take some of the shine off Barcelona winning the double, and you know, rightly or wrongly, you know, because I think you know, winning La Liga is still the most difficult thing. Winning the domestic league means you have to be consistent week in, week out throughout the entire season. And to be honest, back in July and August, that's something that we didn't think Barcelona could do. They were in trouble. They lost Neymar. They didn't sign Verratti. You know, there was lots of doom and gloom. Messi hadn't signed his new contract. That was later sorted out. There was a censure motion against President Bartomeu, and Paulinho joined. It wasn't a popular choice. There were doubts about Valverde and, you know, how he would do. And Real Madrid were flying, but here we are, and you know, Barcelona are walking to the title, and they could yet win it in the Clásico coming up at the beginning of next month. So yeah, that's why we watch football, because you know, we ultimately don't know what is going to happen. But I think, you know, Real Madrid have only won the title twice since 2011. You know, twice really since 2009. It's been an era of Barcelona dominance in La Liga, but of course Real Madrid are dominating in the Champions League. They've won it 2 years back to back under Zidane, and they've won it 3 of the past 4 seasons as well. I guess, you know, the Champions League is a tournament that has more prestige, more glamour than any other, and you know, European champions sounds better than Spanish champions ultimately, but I do think it's harder to win La Liga or to win the Premier League than it maybe is to win in Europe. Of course, in Europe you have to face the very, very best teams. It's by no means easy, but you can do what Real Madrid have done over the last few seasons and peak at the right time and save your energy for, you know, very important knockout games at the end of the season, which what Real Madrid have been doing so well over the last few seasons. But we saw Pep Guardiola last week when Manchester City won the Premier League. He's been criticised for not being able to produce in the Champions League. At City, didn't manage to win it with Bayern either, and he hasn't won it without Messi. And he's faced a lot of criticism for that in Spain. But I think that's a little bit unfair, and you know, he came out and said that, you know, the Champions League, to win it you need to be good in 7 games, whereas a domestic league championship you have to be good week in, week out throughout the whole year. And you know, in conversation a couple of years ago with Diego Simeone, I remember he said to me, obviously Atletico didn't win the Champions League, but they did win La Liga, and they came close, desperately close to winning the Champions League. They got to 2 finals, remember, losing both against Real Madrid. And he said to me, he thought that there was more merit to winning La Liga, to competing week in, week out with 2 giant clubs like Barcelona and Real Madrid, than winning the Champions League, which ultimately is, you know, a knockout competition. And you know, any team can have, any team, but you know, the big teams with a good run, with a bit of luck here and there, you know, you can win it. Obviously Atletico didn't, Guardiola hasn't since Barcelona days, but you know, I feel that many people are watering down Barcelona's achievements over these past few years. It's you know, it's a double. You know, it's a Liga and Copa. If they can win on Saturday, and if they can win La Liga, which they're virtually over the line, let's be honest. But like I say, if Real Madrid go ahead and win the Champions League, then it's going to be something of a Decaf double for Barcelona. And rightly or wrongly, obviously Real Madrid have to face Bayern over 2 legs, and that's not going to be easy at all. A controversial tie in the quarterfinals last season. This time it's a semi-final tie, and more controversy we saw last week against Juventus. I was at the game at the Santiago Bernabeu, and I certainly wasn't expecting to see Real Madrid capitulate like that after winning the first leg in Turin so comfortably, 3-0 with Ronaldo's wonderful overhead kick and a comprehensive victory in Italy. And then last week they threw away that advantage and then only prevailed with a last gasp penalty. It was in stoppage time, 98th minute. In the end, Cristiano Ronaldo put the penalty away, and controversial decision. Juventus weren't happy. Buffon raged at the referee, and all sorts of stuff has been kicking off. The debate will go on and on. I thought it was a penalty at the time. The replay, for me, it's one of those ones that it can be given or not. I don't think it's a huge scandal. I think talk of robbery is an exaggeration, but it's topical. And after what happened last season in the Real Madrid Bayern tie, when Cristiano Ronaldo scored a couple of offside goals, Vidal was sent off in dubious circumstances. Actually, there were decisions that went in Bayern's favour as well. Breaking down all of the decisions over the 2 games, I think Real Madrid deserved to go through, and it was fair. But Bayern certainly feel that they were hard done by in that tie, and that's going to dominate probably the build-up to this next match, the first match in Germany next week, midweek. So interesting for Real Madrid. They don't have a game at the weekend because they were going to play Sevilla, and Sevilla of course are in action in the Copa del Rey against Barcelona. So chance now for Real Madrid to rest players and get them ready for that tie. Obviously the Real Madrid's game against Athletic Club de Bilbao, 1-1 draw with Ronaldo getting the goal at the end. Wasn't the most convincing of performances, that's for sure, but it must be difficult, I guess, to motivate the players, knowing that La Liga is out of reach, and knowing that they have to keep themselves fit and fresh, and they want to avoid injury, of course, for the Champions League. Against Juventus, obviously, baptism of fire for Jesus Vallejo in defence. Sergio Ramos was suspended. We didn't think that they would really miss him. They, 3-0 up from the first leg, but they really did, and Juventus gave it a great shot. This is what we, what's said every year. If Real Madrid play like that, they're not going to win the Champions League. But guess what? They won't play like that again. I'm pretty sure that we're not going to see another performance like that one, and Zidane will have to make sure that there isn't, because they had a 3-0 cushion this time and they almost messed it up against Bayern. If they play like that, there's no way they're going to advance. But we've seen poor performances from Real Madrid in this competition before, and then when it really, really matters, they work harder, they defend better, and they grind out results, better than anybody else in this competition. It's going to be fascinating. The other tie, Liverpool against Roma, it's going to be great to see one of those 2 teams in the final. We don't know which one. Something different, and I would have liked to see Real Madrid draw one of those teams, because we've seen Real Madrid against Bayern plenty of times over the years. It would have been something different to play Liverpool, for them to play Liverpool, or for them to play Roma. But it's still a great tie. It's a European Classico, really, isn't it? Real Madrid Bayern, just as it was Real Madrid Juve in the last round. So plenty to look forward to, and obviously the final of the Copa del Rey on Saturday. I'm going to be at the game in Madrid, so I'll definitely do a video after that, and looking forward to it. At the Wanda Metropolitano, it should be a good one. But if Barcelona do end up winning a double, regardless of whether Real Madrid win the Champions League or not, Barca deserve praise. It's not easy to win La Liga, it's not easy to win a domestic double, and it's still a great achievement. It's not a Decaf double, it's a great achievement, like I say. And if Real Madrid go on to win 3 Champions Leagues in a row, that is a spectacular achievement as well. But in a way, it's still been a disappointing season in La Liga and the Copa for Real. So plenty to talk about, and I'll come back soon and we'll talk about all of that. So thanks for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel, drop a like or a comment, and speak to you soon. Goodbye.